Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Connor, and I currently live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I'm here to talk to you guys today about configuring your jack audio connection kit and the Ardour Digital Audio Workstation, or DAW, using Ubuntu Linux. One of the major differences between a Windows or a Mac platform and a Linux platform is that Linux uses Jack to set up a separate audio daemon. Most of the pro audio quality software is going to use Jack, and the nice thing is it allows all these programs to communicate together. But first we got to get it set up. As you can see, it's already running. That's because I'm recording using my microphone line in. But let's just jump right into it. The driver you're using is the Advanced Linux Sound Architecture driver, or the ALSA driver, ALSA. This is probably going to be the driver you're going to use for most of your music software. The next thing you want to do is configure your input. This is where you'd select your interface. As you can see right now, I'm recording off my headset and playing back on my headset. But if I had my interface plugged into my laptop, it would show up here. It's a PreSonus audio box. It would say audio box instead of Logitech USB headset. You also want to configure the amount of channels. In this case, I got one channel going in, a mono line from the microphone, and two going out, the left and right channel on my headset. The last thing we really want to look at is these three here: the frames per period, the sample rate, and the periods per buffer. The important thing to notice with this is they use a little different terminology. When Loudon's talking about the buffer, when configuring Jack, we actually want to configure this frames per period value. As you can see here, I got it set at 512. Just because it was set lower, I'd be plagued with buffer underruns. My laptop's not very powerful and it's kind of old. So for most applications, I have to set it to about 512. If I was processing more stuff, let's say a lot of virtual instruments or plugins, I might want to kick this up a little bit, unless I get a bunch of underruns. The sample rate is set for 48K, which is pretty much the standard. And we're pretty much done configuring this server. There are some other options we can select, but we're not going to deal with that right now. So now that our audio daemon is set up, we want to configure our digital audio workstation. Using Linux, we're using Ardour, which is pretty similar to most of the other major DAWs out there. But this one's open source and runs natively on Linux. And being a Linux user, I don't really have a whole lot of choice. So I found one that I'm happy with, and we're going to use Ardour. There's an advanced options tab here that will just start your project with some master buses and connect outputs to the master buses and things like that. So you really don't need to mess with any of this. But we do want to take a look at a naming convention that's going to be informative but also useful. What I like to do is I like to label either a song or an event. In this case, open mic, which is I record my open mic every week that I host to give recordings to some of the people there, and also to kind of review my own playing. And then I follow that up with a date. So in this case, 03/17/2013. Whoops. Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone. The reason I put a date there and the name of the event is so when looking at the file structure, all my open mic folders will be kind of blob together in the middle, and then I can quickly look at the date and be like, all right, what was last week's or the week before? Or if you were doing a bunch of sessions over 3 days, it's useful to kind of have a date on there as well, so you can say, all right, what was that take 2 days ago? So that's just something to consider. And as you can see, I've done a couple takes of this, but we'll reload it. I already added one default track, but the last few things we need to cover is the recording format and the sample. In this case, we're using a broadcast wave, and then our sample format is going to be our 24-bit. So hopefully you guys learned something from this and you enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys taking a listen and watching this lesson. I also appreciate it if you guys would leave feedback. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to working collaboratively with you all in the future, and thank you very much. Have a good one.